County Attorney, you may call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state calls Marco Quezada.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you'll give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You may proceed.
Please state your name.
Marco Quezada?
Are you an employee of Child Protective Services?
Yes.
Have you been assigned the case involving Camila and Angela Garcia?
Yes.
How long have you had this case?
About 2 weeks.
As part of this case, have you been able to assess whether or not the family has need of more services?
I have.
Are there currently services that have been scheduled for the children?
There have been.
What are those services?
Camila Garcia is participating in individual therapy as a result of the outcry that she made. So she is receiving some individual therapy through the CAC. Angela Garcia is also receiving some individual therapy through the CAC. Additionally, the mother in this case, Jasmine Rivera, has been asked to complete some individual therapy, and eventually the department would like to see them engage in some family therapy, although at this time we're wanting them to get established with their individual therapy. Camila and Angela both need their well child exams and some yearly dental examinations. And Angela, because she's 4 years old, is due for her 4-year immunizations.
To your knowledge, have both of the parents been served with the lawsuit in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there currently a home study being conducted on relatives?
Yes, ma'am. There is a home study that's been initiated on maternal grandmother in San Antonio. She's provided us with the preliminary information, and she's passed preliminary background checks, both DFPS and criminal background checks, and the home study has been initiated.
I have no further questions.
Ms. Rivera, raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you will give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Counsel for the mother, you may proceed.
Would you state your name for the record, please?
Jasmine Rivera?
And Miss Rivera, you are the mother of Camila and Angela?
Yes.
Do you believe Camila?
Yes.
Have you been supportive of her?
Very much so.
Have you seen Jesus since he was arrested?
No, I haven't.
Has he tried to contact you?
No.
Do you know if he has any family in the area?
It's just us. He said his family's all in Mexico.
Okay. Have you met anybody else in his family?
Just his brother, and he really scares me.
Are you asking the judge today to enter a protective order against Jesus?
Yes.
Why?
Because I want to make sure my daughters are safe.
And has he ever been abusive toward you?
Yes.
Has he ever been abusive that you knew of before this toward the girls?
Not that I ever saw.
Are you also asking the girls be placed with your mother as soon as possible in San Antonio?
Yes.
And will you continue to be protective of them?
Yes.
When was the first time that you ever had any idea that your children were being injured?
Just recently when the teacher reported this incident.
I'll pass the witness.
Ms. Solis, raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you'll give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Attorney ad litem for the child, Ms. Bernstein, please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Could you please state your name for the record?
Nicole Solis.
What is your role in this case, Ms. Solis?
I've been assigned as the court-appointed special advocate and a guardian ad litem.
And in your role as a court-appointed special advocate and guardian ad litem, what do you do?
We advocate for the children's best interest.
Great. So I want to talk a little bit about the home study with the maternal grandmother, Miss Rivera Reyes. Have you been working with the department on that home study?
Yes, ma'am. I've been in regular contact with Mr. Quezada with the department and getting contact for the family in San Antonio. I've also been in contact with my CASA supervisor to have her ask for a courtesy worker out of the San Antonio CASA program to visit the family.
Great. Have you had an opportunity to speak with the maternal grandmother?
Yes, ma'am.
And what did you all talk about?
I talked to her about her willingness to take the children and the mother into her home. She indicated that she would be very interested. Based on my conversation with her, I got a good impression that she would be protective of the children. She said that the children have visited her in the past, and several years ago that they had actually periodically resided there.
Did she talk at all about what type of support network she had for if the children and the mother came to live with her?
Yes, ma'am. She offered several resources and references as far as the support system that she has in the San Antonio area, friends and family members, along with her church family that would offer services to her and be a resource.
Thank you. Have you had an opportunity to visit and speak with the mother in this case, Ms. Rivera?
Yes, I have.
And what did you all talk about?
I visited Ms. Rivera at the domestic violence shelter. She told me that she was there based on the allegations of the case. She said that she would like to reside there until that she could be moved with the family in San Antonio if possible. And she also indicated that she is willing to abide by the court's orders and cooperate with the department.
Finally, have you had an opportunity to visit with the children at all?
Yes. I also visited with the children at the domestic violence shelter. They seemed to be doing very well. They appeared to be healthy and happy there. They said that they would want to stay with their mother and that they had a relationship with their maternal grandmother in San Antonio, and they had very good memories of their visits to her home.
Thank you. Nothing further.
Thank you, Ms. Burstein. Mr. Quaid, you are attorney for the father. The father is not present. Would you please report to the court the whereabouts of the father and if you have made contact with him?
Yes, Judge. Mr. Garcia is currently being held in the county jail in this county for charges stemming from the CPS investigation in this case. I did have a chance to visit with him shortly after the court appointed me to represent him in this matter. He advised me that the nature of the charges are sexual assault of a child, and that the court has set his bond at $250,000 in that case. Another issue is that once the charges are resolved, he does have an INS hold on him. So regardless of the outcome of that case, he will subsequently be deported if he does not obtain a PR bond in that case as well. Bottom line, Judge, is we don't know when and if he will be released during the time this case is open. I did have a chance to discuss the nature of the CPS case and this setting, particularly the adversary hearing, and what the state would be requesting in the way of temporary managing conservatorship, placement if temporary managing conservatorship is granted, as well as services that the parents would be expected to participate. At this time, he advised me that he would not be contesting temporary managing conservatorship and/or the protective order that the mom is requesting. The only issue that he did express to me, Judge, is what his visitation would be or his possession and access if he is subsequently released on or able to obtain bond on the charges, as well as able to obtain a PR bond on his immigration charge. And Judge, one other matter, I discussed that since the parties were not married in this case, he is considered an alleged father. And what that means, he's agreed that he is not contesting paternity in this case, and to that effect, he has an executed acknowledgement of paternity, which we will be filing with the court. I discussed the possibility of placement of the children during the pendency of this suit and whether or not he had any recommendations or requests in that manner. As indicated by the mom, the majority of his family resides in Mexico, and so we do not have any relative or other family member that we could offer as a placement for the children. And that's all I have, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Quaid. Ms. Rivera, I know that this has been a very difficult situation for you. I understand that and find that there has been domestic violence and will grant a protective order issued today and drafted by the county attorney. That protective order will require that your husband